Fam, what's good? What's good? This your boy Thigh, FamOverTV. I appreciate everybody tapping into the channel, showing love, liking, sharing, commenting, subscribing, stopping by, whatever you're doing. I appreciate it. These videos are for entertainment purposes only. Viewer discretion is always advised. Salute to everybody out there on this good Monday. Hope everybody feeling good, man. Good energy, good love around. Good vibes. Got some good content to check out today. Let me get my Twitch and my Kick going. There we go. There we go. There we go. Now, I was looking into them floods down in Texas and everything, man. And it's starting to look like it's an agenda with those floods. I thought those floods maybe was just Mother Nature and everything, but now there's been some information coming out, man. It's like they've been trying to do something down there, y'all. Travis was good, fam. Buddha, what up? Shoes was good. Yeah, so have y'all ever heard of the Greenland Project? Or something they've been trying to do in different areas and everything. And I seen that down right in that area where the floods went on in Kerrville County or something. I think that's what it's called. They said they just got approved for a new energy power plant or something, man. So I don't know, man. Kind of fishy. Feel me? I don't know. We go check it out. Jane and Robert Thon. Solo, what up? Also, I know y'all seen the news about Epstein. They talking about they ain't got no Epstein list and they ain't got no information and nothing. They talking about they don't have nothing. Out of all this whole time when they've been saying they had stuff and everything, they even dropped a video, surveillance video, of when he supposedly hung himself. But remember when they were saying that they didn't have the video, that something was wrong, the cameras wasn't working? Now all of a sudden they got a video and everything. Like, that's crazy. Crazy work out here, man. Right after Elon accused Trizzy of being on that list and everything. They got that right. They swept that right on up out of here quick. I'm like, man. They talk about no information. They ain't got nothing. And then they said they didn't have a surveillance video. Now they got a surveillance video and everything. But you know how this AI you can make it look like a video. You can manipulate anything for real. We got a few people in here, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this content started, man. Salute to everybody in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Let's get it going.
What is that?
Oh my God.
What is that?
Oh no, this is not good, man. This is not good. Look, dude, those people in that house right there. Oh no, get out of there.
Now it's flooding down in North Carolina now.
All right, people, so we got severe flash flooding happening here in Orange County, North Carolina. This is the worst flooding I've seen in the Chapel Hill, Carborough area. Anybody that tries to come out here and drive it tonight, please don't do it. Look at this. There's a waterfall where there shouldn't be one. This whole lot. This whole parking lot. It's just incredible river that's just going all the way down, man. There's multiple cars that have been stranded. After we just been getting dumped on here by the remains of Tropical Storm Chantal.
This shit ridiculous. All these floods. I ain't never seen as many floods happen in such a short period of time. It's been so many floods in these last few months. Flooding everywhere. Like, I guess that's the new thing. Like, yeah, let's flood them on out. Cause they trying to do something, man. Soul Museum, Nudie, what up? Andrew, what's good, fam?
One more question.
Yeah, well, one of the questions that still hasn't been answered 3 days into this is, despite TEM's warning on July 2nd and July 3rd that something like this could have happened, that the threat existed, why that information didn't get down to the camps and why they weren't evacuated. Can you answer that now?
That is a great question, but again, we want to make sure that we continue to focus. We still have 11 missing children that we want to get reunited with our families. Until we can get reunited with our families, we are not going to stop. We are not going to stop until we do. So, thank you.
Follow-up question, sir. Was any emergency alert given out on the 4th, that morning of? Did anyone get
Sir,
any
there are
alert?
families who deserve better than that.
And the crazy thing about that Texas flood is they knew it was finna happen. Like, it's videos and everything. That's a video we finna watch. Like, they already knew it was finna happen. So they had time to warn the camp and everybody else that this was finna happen and it was on the way, and they didn't warn them. And people lost their lives and everything. And that shit crazy, man. Like, that's how you know it's a fucking play or something. You know what I'm saying? Amelia Jordan, what up with you? See you over there on Kick. Appreciate you tapping in.
So you mean to tell me this exact flood hit the same river about 30 years ago where unalived kids at a camp? What type of coincidence is that? What type of signal? What type of cycle? That's crazy, y'all. This flood didn't just come out of nowhere. It's like history is repeating itself almost 30 years to the day. Back in 1987, the same Guadalupe River flooded. A wall of water came crashing down Hill County and swept away a church camp full of teens. And this was back in 1987. Look at the video.
On Friday morning, July 17, 1987, the small town of Comfort, Texas, became the scene of a heroic rescue and tragic loss. Much of the footage you will see was taped on that day by the banks of the Guadalupe River. It was the day they were supposed to go home. The more than 300 children at the church camp were awakened early. The river was flooded. If they didn't leave soon,
this is crazy.
might not be able to leave at all. They come in there rushing us up and everything. Tell us get up, get bags and all this stuff. And everybody's asking why. They said we gotta get out of here because the river was flowing over. When we started going around the corner, we want to go down the hill, then water started coming in the bus and stuff. We tried to back up, but then the bus got stuck, so they made all of us get out of the bus. And that's whenever the first wave hit.
So back then, it was 10 kids that were unalived. Now you got over 80 people that were unalived on this one. Question I want to ask is, if they knew this happened before, why did they let them people build another camp in the same exact place? And why didn't they upgrade the flood system? What? Y'all let me know what y'all think about this down below in the comments. This shit crazy.
All right, let's zoom out for a minute, because what happened in Texas, it ain't just about rain. It's part of a bigger pattern. And once you see it, it ain't no unseeing that shit. Texas got hit with that flood so fast that folks ain't even had time to react. This ain't the first time we've seen this play out. So let's run it back. Mississippi 2023, same thing. Kentucky in 2022, the whole town's underwater. Even Maui in 2023. But that one wasn't water. Now here's what they don't tell you, that every one of those places, they was all sitting on land with value, land with resources, history, or opportunity zones. Places where people held on to their homes for generations, not places for sale, until of course something hit. And then after the hit, land drops in value, the locals get pushed out, property scooped up for dirt cheap, and then a few months later, boom, new development, new ownership and new zip code vibes. Now let's bring it back to Texas. You got Camp Mystic sitting on legacy land, which is a camp that's tied to elite families. I don't think it's just coincidence, it's location. And here's what really got my gears turning. Old documents online shows parts of Central Texas were flagged years ago for infrastructure modernization, whatever that means. So maybe it's not about the storm. Maybe it's about the reset after. And it seems these events keep following the same script. So maybe it was just never bad luck. Let me know in the comments what y'all think about this. Is there a pattern? And make sure to follow if you haven't already.
If you look up 2050 Kerrville, where this happened, you look that up online, you will find a whole document and pages of their plan to redo this entire area on this riverfront.
See, crazy work.
You know, we say this, you know, we want it every time there's some kind of freak accident like this, freak flood that wipes everything out. They got to start over. You just go online and look up that area. Sure enough, you're going to find a smart city ready to be built. You know, they want to enhance everything. You know, they want to raise taxes to build all this stuff.
That's crazy. Look at this. City councils approved $175 million power plant project in Kerrville, Texas. Is this a coincidence? And this was March 18th of this year. The project, estimated to cost up to $175 million, will use a natural gas fired reciprocating internal combustion engine, which got this acronym of RICE, generation plant designed to provide long-term cost stability for customers. It's always something to it, y'all. If you look into it far enough, you will find there's something to it. This shit is not just a coincidence or just a freak accident that just happened. Nope. I ain't going for it.
Because they can't help. We are evacuating parts of the river right now because we're worried about another wall of water coming down in those areas. If you're a volunteer there that you're not checked into our operations, we have no way of accounting for you right now. There is a process that we use to get volunteers into the response, and I'm asking for your help and to get that message out. It's not that we think we don't need any help. It's that we want to make sure everyone helping is doing the job that we need, where we need it, and when we need it, and we have the ability to communicate with them. And then finally, I want to talk a little bit about the word recovery as it relates to the President's disaster declaration. We are very excited to begin those recovery operations with our federal partners who have been here with us in the Emergency Operations Center since last Thursday, since before all of the actual flooding and disaster started.
Did y'all hear that? What you mean they've been there? The emergency and disaster people been there before the flooding started? Before it even started? What? That's what I'm saying. They knew it was finna happen. And y'all been there? Why would you even say that on TV, fam? Like, he's like, yeah, they've been here before the flooding even started and everything. Y'all could have prevented some of these lives that was lost. Could have saved some of these lives, man. This shit is super sad, man.
Recovery as it relates to the President's disaster declaration. We are very excited to begin those recovery operations with our federal partners who have been here with us in the Emergency Operations Center since last Thursday, since before all of the actual flooding and disaster started. And we're going to work very close with those partners to help our local communities and our families that are impacted by this recover from this disaster as fast as possible.
That look crazy right there. Look at that. What the fuck is that? Is something on fire or what is it, man? What's going on?
So this is a still from the security camera in Jeffrey Epstein's cell block on the night that he allegedly unalived himself. The government just released this full video today, and they claim that this proves that Jeffrey Epstein wasn't killed by someone. I scanned through a ton of this video, it's over 10 hours long, and yes, obviously you don't see anybody wearing a balaclava with a machine gun sneaking into the room, or or somebody in a catsuit with a ski mask on running into the room with a rope in their hands. But I do want you to consider, so the timestamps and everything here, the markings on the video in the top left, the bottom left, and the right side, I don't know how to eloquently word this, but these timestamps aren't on surfaces that somebody would walk by. If you know what I'm saying, like, I don't really know what this is right here, but this is clearly not a walkway. This is like a wall door with a telephone. And yeah, you'd have to be a gargantuan human being to touch the ceiling over there in the top left. So by claiming...
Y'all, I might be wrong, but I remember doing a stream about this. And they said they did not have any surveillance footage. This was a while ago. They didn't have no surveillance footage of like that area where Epstein supposedly hung himself or whatever. They said that like the cameras wasn't working that day or something. And now all of a sudden they got the surveillance footage that they just dropped yesterday. Huh?
Claiming that nobody walked in this area, it doesn't really necessarily prove anything to me. Think of how advanced CGI and AI is nowadays. If you don't think that your government would edit a video like this to cut someone out of it, you'd be absolutely insane. Now, is this proven? Obviously not. But why all of a sudden do they have this footage? When for years they've claimed that the cameras weren't working that evening. Now all of a sudden they just magically found this clip which exonerates the government of any wrongdoing right after Trump was accused of being in the files himself? Yeah, none of this makes sense, and I know that there's going to be some expert analysis done on this footage, but just go watch it yourself. I mean, there are times in this video where there's literally nothing going on. There's no one moving in the background. There's nothing down here. Nobody's moving around. There's no movement I'm trying to get across, which would be a perfect frame to duplicate or to cut in and out, manipulate the timestamp. If you don't think that they'd do it, I really don't know what to tell you. But to me, this proves absolutely nothing. Just go read this release and this document for yourself.
I seen that too, Jermaine. Salute to Jermaine in the chat, man. Salute to Amber and Peep too. Hey, I seen the trash can move like it skipped the frame, and then when the frame skipped, I seen the trash can move too. You know what I'm saying?
It's truly disheartening and disturbing stuff. I mean, they say in here that Epstein had over 1,000 victims, which is a figure I've never necessarily heard before, but they still are sticking with the story that he actually unalived himself, and that he was not trafficking to high-profile people, and that there was no blackmail, of course. All the cameras installed in Epstein's homes and properties were just for fun, I guess, or security. Now, obviously, this is a rabbit hole that goes incredibly deep, and I can't handle it all in one TikTok video, but according to the federal government, this is the last time they're going to speak on Epstein. So make of all of this what you will.
Man, my boy Trizzy might have put that word in. Ever since Elon been talking all that bullshit, putting his name in it and got him all hot, he might have put that word in. Like, hey, I want all that shit destroyed and bring out that surveillance and show that nobody was up there. He did it to himself. We're going to release that tonight. And he released it like he might have put the word in. He like, shit, we finna erase all that shit. Then it probably was a lot of major, powerful people that was on that list. And part of that evidence, like they talked about they had this list for so long. Now all of a sudden they said they ain't never had no list and all this. Come on, man. They just think they think the public, they think people, they think we just stupid, man. They think this motherfucking 1944 or something, man. They think they still can manipulate us and just tell us anything and everybody go like, yeah, okay. Of course, some of the people, you know, the masses go believe whatever they say. Like, well, they said they ain't got nothing. So, I mean, I guess it's true and everything, you know. But for the ones that's kind of conscious, got their own sense of thought and, you know, vibrating on this type of time, we know, like, man, this bullshit right here. Y'all been screaming, y'all ain't had no footage. The cameras was down. They said that. I mean, I got to go back and find some of them videos when they was like, yeah, the cameras was down and all this and everything. Now all of a sudden they got 10 hours of that area where he supposedly took himself out. Man, y'all going with that bullshit, man. Let's keep it going, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. This is crazy.
Epstein had no client list. That's what the FBI want us to believe. So Ghislaine trafficked to nobody. How is that even possible, y'all? So they really just saying this man acted alone, y'all. That's what they're telling us. And they want us to believe that. So let me get this straight. After years of sealed documents, after Ghislaine Maxwell got sentenced for trafficking kids to no one, and after everyone from Bill Clinton royalty got spotted on his plane, now they're telling us there was no blackmail, no client list, no conspiracy, nothing. Case just closed. I don't know if that's wild to y'all, but that's wild to me. Do y'all understand? It's like right as pressure was building online, even when Elon came out and said Donald Trump was on that shit, now all of a sudden it's just going downhill. It's just done. And I know y'all remember Cash Patel and Don Bongino. They was so adamant that they was gonna release some shit that was gonna shock the world. Now they're just backtracking everything. A memo from the DOJ appears saying there was no list, no foul play, and that Epstein really committed the big S to himself. And they even put out a video showing no one entered and no one left. It is 2025. We use common sense. Do y'all know how edits work? I'm not saying it was edited, but I'm just letting you know that anything can be edited. Like, come on now, y'all. It's been 6 years. Now they want to release it? Why didn't they been release it? Come on. Come on. I need y'all thoughts down below. This shit is crazy, right?
Because they said they didn't have the footage at first. Now they released it. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy, man. That's crazy work right there. And peep, no, Diddy ain't get off scot-free. Diddy still locked up. They denied his bail. He was found guilty on 2 counts. Trafficking a prostitute and then prostitution or some shit. Like he facing a little bit of time. I don't know if they gonna give him a lot of time, but I guess he facing a little bit of time, but he ain't get off scot-free. But shit, to me, he beat it though. He beat the major count, the major case, the RICO. He beat it. So shit, he gonna be getting out though. I don't know how much time he gonna get, but he gonna be getting out, and he get to keep all his assets. So all that money and everything, his investments and everything, he keep all his money. I'm sure he gonna be spending that to get revenge.
Right?
Alex Jones.
Yeah, so we were after him.
You are? Are you still after him? Why?
Because he's broke. He got found guilty and had to pay like $100 million.
So why were you after him?
We're not anymore.
Just to get the money from him?
Yeah.
Was that court case used? Was that a CIA
Sure
thing?
was.
That was the agency thing?
But we were looking at all of his followers, commenting, following like, who's that going to be this to, right? So even though it's technically not our, well, not the agency definitely, but the Bureau, for instance.
Look at this, man. This allegedly entertainment purposes only, but this dude right here talking about how they entrapped Alex Jones. And I believe it because I seen like how Alex Jones' whole program switched up. Like he turned into a whole different person and everything. Then I know he got sued for all that money and everything. Like they tried to bury Alex Jones. Boss Lady Angela the Dial in the building.
We're not anymore.
Just to get the money from him?
Yeah.
Was that court case used? Was that a CIA
Sure
thing?
was.
That was the agency thing?
But we were looking at all of his followers, commenting, following like, who's that going to be this to, right? So even though it's technically not our, well, not the agency definitely, but the Bureau, for instance. Yeah, that's not our purview. It's a civil matter. But since they got all this access to his stuff and it's there, what can we go find?
And did you find anything?
I can't tell you if we did.
So with Alex Jones, you were watching him long before anything ended up happening.
But I mean, we would have been well aware of what he was doing.
And the goal with him was what? Just to bankrupt him?
Secretly recording them and everything. There's rats everywhere. Yeah, Taylor, my email's still the same. It's all good.
Pretty much. We let the families do it.
Were they encouraged to do that by the Bureau?
Like, we just say there's no federal statute being broken, but you do have the option for a civil case, and it's a pretty good case.
Nice.
In our opinion.
What can you do with people like Alex Jones now? Because he's still out there. Yeah. He's still chirping.
He can chirp.
Are you still watching him?
Yeah.
Why?
He did what we wanted. We took his money away. We shut him up for a while. You're never going to shut him up permanently.
How? Well, unless you put him in prison.
But again, he didn't do anything to go to prison. He didn't incite a riot like Cheeto. He didn't encourage people to go shoot people.
Say goodbye to
fucking assholes, man. I hate motherfuckers like that, man. The motherfucking CIA, man, they be playing dirty, man. The CIA dirty, y'all. I don't even like talking about the CIA. I don't want them over here to motherfucking throw a monkey wrench into what we got going on over here, man. I'm gonna leave the CIA alone. They too powerful, man. They powerful, they sneaky, they snakes. And they got the means to do anything they want to do. I'm not fucking with the CIA. They out cold, though.
this version of TikTok as we know it. So apparently TikTok is working to make a US TikTok, a US based TikTok, where everything's gonna be exactly the same, they say. However, it'll just be for US users. And so this version of TikTok is gonna go bye-bye. Now we have a little bit less than a year until it is official. They are not saying if they're just gonna completely remove it off of our phones like they did with Vine, or if they're just gonna shut it down like they did back in January. However, what they are saying is that they have bought TikTok, at least a company in America has, and they're just making a different version of it. Now, apparently all of your data is going to transfer over, so your followers, your likes, your views, and all those different things, but it'll be a completely new app. And here is why that is a bad thing. Censorship. In the US, they say that we have freedom of speech, and quite literally, we don't. And yeah, like on a small level, we do, but I can guarantee you they have been trying to control the media for a long time, which is a huge reason as to why they're doing it. So if you talk about Donald Trump, guess what, buddy? You're probably gonna get banned. If you talk about anyone who is in his party, you're probably gonna get banned. If you say anything that they don't want you to say, you're probably gonna get banned. If you talk about Israel, you're probably gonna get banned. And so the rules are going to be way more strict in the US than it is right now. And right now it is pretty strict, but it's just an AI bot who's kind of controlling everything that we're doing as of right now. But when we switch over to the US version, it's going to be ran by the US government. And they're going to weed out all of the creators and all of the content they do not want to see. And so this is a very bad thing for us in America. So y'all better take this last year to find another app, a backup app, to post your content and all those different things, because the TikTok that we know and love is going to be gone, and we are not going to know this version of it anymore.
It's already right, Rochelle. Salute to Rochelle in the chat. It already happened, y'all. Like, TikTok, right now it's a little bit, a little lenient right now. You know what I'm saying? You can go in there and speak and everything about whatever, because it's China. They got their hands and they own it right now. So they be letting a lot of stuff go. And like he said, it's like ran by an AI bot that be trying to catch things and certain words and everything. But you can say some stuff on there right now. But soon as it transition over to that American company and they change it, where you got to download it again, and it's a US based app now, you better believe that censorship coming. We ain't gonna be able to talk about some of the shit that we talk about on TikTok right now. And a lot of content is gonna get erased and took off. Like, then people gonna start getting banned and everything. Because right now you can talk about some stuff like But like he said, powerful people, politicians and everything, you speak on and say anything wrong, the wrong word or something. Yeah, it's just grass over there. It's crazy.
I've been paying attention to this brother named Julian Brown. who has completely disrupted the industry by creating his own fuel from plastic waste. He's demonstrated how effective this can be and exactly all the steps that go into it. He's demonstrated all of that. And yet he's being targeted, and potentially we all know who is doing the targeting. When you are a disruptor like this man is, when you are a game changer, and it shows how corrupt and how insidious these capitalists are. And if anything happens to this young man, we all know who is at the helm of this. We all know that anytime there's substantial change that takes place, they're going to do everything possible to try to squash that. So I ask that you all do research into this brother and do what you all can to help get his message out and carry on his legacy, because they want him to be gone. So it is our responsibility as those that really claim that they're activists or game changers and want to be a part of a movement. This is how you start.
He was the first and
Hey, that dude right there that's trying to create fuel from water and waste. I just seen the video on him. Like, y'all can go check it out. It's like a 10-minute video on WorldStar. I was go, try to get it, and so we can check it out on here. But he said that they are harassing him, they following him. He said helicopters be flying over his house. He's saying all type of stuff been happening. He's like, I'm not afraid to lose my life. Like, he's speaking like this. Like, he knows something's finna happen. And we already know it's a dirty game that they play and everything. I just hate that, the way he going about it and promoting and letting everybody know. But it takes somebody to have that type of heart to, like, fuck that, I'm finna get this out to the masses. So if anything do happen to me, at least y'all know this is what you can do and how to do it and everything. But the government and these powerful people is not finna let that happen, fam. Fuel from waste and water to run cars. Oh, man. I just hope they all stay safe. I hope he stay alive.
only black car manufacturer in U.S. history. He built cars before Henry Ford or Elon Musk. His first car, 1915, while fighting Jim Crow and everything else with a wrench in his hand. Why wasn't he in our history books? His name was Charles Richard Patterson. Born enslaved, he freed himself in a time when black people couldn't even vote. He owned a carriage company, then turned it into an automobile company. That's right, a black man building cars in 1915. But the world wasn't ready. The bank said no. His competitors crushed him by gatekeeping and with systemic barriers. He built brilliance and they locked him out. Still, he kept going. With his son by his side, he fought for every sale, every bolt, every dream. The Patterson Greenfield car hit the road. Sleek, strong, beautiful. Black excellence on 4 wheels. They even built buses and trucks when cars got too hard. But the history books erased him. Ford became a...
I never heard of this dude. This crazy. I'm sure they took all his ideas, took his designs, everything. Like, man, get the fuck out of here. This is our shit now.
Legend. C.R. Patterson? Forgotten because they stole his legacy. Imagine what he could have built if the world had let him, if the world had believed in him. But his story lives in black innovation, in every young dreamer building what they've never seen. Say his name, share his story. C.R. Patterson, he paved the road.
Now, I didn't know that this wasn't common knowledge. And if you didn't know this, that means you don't follow me. But white people have always indulged in cannibalism. They ate their slaves and they ate black people that were free after the Emancipation Proclamation, after lynchings. If you didn't know this, you don't follow me. And if you don't follow me, you should follow me. My name's Chemistry. I teach black history. I'm not part of Hillman Talk. I just do this for fun and out of the passion that I have for spreading black history. And just like everything else on my page, I'm not just feeding you a bunch of bullshit. There are a plethora of books that you can look into that proves that this is a fact. Books like The Delectable Negro, which covers recipes of how to eat black people.
What the fuck? What? It's crazy because I seen a video of it, of this white, actually it was a white guy. He said, like, the word picnic, like, how we think picnic is just, take some food to a park and hang out with your family and have a picnic. He said that word come from way back in the day to yeah, see Buddha, you on it. I see Buddha in the chat. He on it. But they said that word picnic came from like they would pick different parts of the body of a slave and pick, you know what I'm saying, which ones they finna eat about or eat or whatever. I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I seen a video. I'm gonna go get that video. I'm gonna try to get that video, but that's where he said the word picnic come from. He said if you search it and do your research about it, you'll see what it really means and everything. I'm like, man, that's crazy work right there.
Another book called Edible People, The Historical Consumption of Negroes and Foreigners, and I believe it was like the cannibalistic trade. And that's just two of many. But yeah, if you want to know more about the topic, if you scroll down on my page, I have a video called White People Ate Black People. It's very, very informative. So go ahead, learn you something, follow me. I teach Black history. Also tap my link tree. I have a nonprofit, a YouTube.
That's crazy right there.
We're going to talk about the finer points of eating mermaids. If you find this morally objectionable, you should swipe. And I'm not even sure where this falls. Is this cannibalism? Is it pescatarianism? Is it cannibalistic pescatarianism? There's a lot of syllables. Mermaids are generally regarded as half human, half fish, but we need to decide whether or not they're warm-blooded or cold-blooded. In this diagram of Ariel, they have fallen firmly on the side of warm-blooded because of the presence of mammary glands, lungs, and what appears to be a four-chambered heart. The reproductive system has maybe thankfully been omitted because we at least don't have to cross the bridge as to whether or not you could get caviar out of Ariel. But to bring us right back around to morally questionable, she does have a liver, so if we force-fed her, we could potentially get some mermaid foie gras. An odd thing happened while I was looking for these images. A lot of mermaid anatomical diagrams fall on the side of them being mammals, like air breathers.
Hey, and I've been seeing videos about this too. They saying how the elites and the super wealthy and rich people, they be eating mermaids as a delicacy. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of believe it. You know what I'm saying? I kind of believe it. But that's what they saying that be happening. They saying they be eating mermaids as a delicacy. I seen a video of a dude that said they was, I guess, used to fish for mermaids and try to capture mermaids, and they get a lot of money from people's buying them and everything. So I don't know, man. All this shit just is wild to me, man. Salute to everybody in the building, though. Make sure y'all hit that like button. We got 150 likes. Let's try to get to 200, y'all.
This would mean that we could infer that they would have behaviors similar to like whales or dolphins, orcas, stuff like that. This one made me oddly happy because they included gills and a more conservative, what looks like a more conservative two-chambered heart. So depending on the flavor profile that you're looking for, when you're hunting mermaids, you're going to want the ones with gills if you're looking for that fishy nuance. On the flip side, if you want the more meaty, full-flavored version, you're going to have an air breather. However, a word of warning, because of the presence of the lungs, this is also the version that would likely be able to siren sing you to your own demise. Across the internet, dare I say universally, the best part for eating of the fish is going to be the collar and the cheeks, basically that comma area. That consensus quickly degrades once you get to the back, abdomen, and tail meat. Everybody just kind of fights over all of that. So I don't know which one is actually the best. But it seems when you're consuming mermaids, you're pretty much confined to the tail meat. Maybe a little bit of like abdominal meat. And of course, questionable caviar. If we flip this around and move away from the pescatarian side of things and go more toward the cannibal side of things, we're actually left with better cuts of meat because...
Did y'all see the video of that little boy that told his daddy, and they was in like a supermarket somewhere, and he was looking at the meat. He was like, that's mermaid meat. And I guess it's been going viral. I've been seeing that video. I don't know why I didn't get it and everything. Truth Lady, DJ, Pilgrim. What's up, y'all? Pete.
You're going to have access to the loin and the ribs. It seems like if you're a big fan of surf and turf, then mermaids might be the perfect mealtime opportunity for you. I mean, you're going to have to compromise a little bit because you're stuck with tail meat, but to boost it, you might get some awesome caviar, and on top, you're going to get like premium cuts. So all in all, possibly a good meal.
Prove Look at positive. How old the film is. This isn't fake. They didn't have fake mermaid tails back in the 20s. This is very early. I'm Peter Kane. I'm president of the Mermaid Society. This is real. Those are.
Man, this shit crazy. And I forgot which one of y'all in the chat put me on that series. I've been watching that series too. What I'm on, like the second season, whatever. Sirens, about the mermaid. It's pretty good too. Pretty good, man. Makes you think about, damn. I'm just wondering, like are these mermaids just restricted to a certain area? Are they just in a certain area, or could a mermaid be, on the Pacific coast, Atlantic? Like, could it be on any coast, or are these mermaids just in certain areas, or what? Like, I'm very intrigued and interested to learning more about these mermaids. I keep hearing about it. I definitely believe it's a real thing. Everybody be talking about it. I seen the video of my man that was working on the boat, hearing all the mermaid sirens and everything, and then he disappeared. I don't even know what happened to him. Y'all remember that dude that was on the boat talking about the mermaids, and then the government came on his boat and did all type of shit and everything? I ain't heard nothing else from him. No video, no nothing, no update or nothing. So, I don't know, man. Let's keep it going. Salute to everybody in the chat. Appreciate all y'all. Keep this stream going.
Big issue in the United States.
Racism's always going to be a big issue anywhere. You can't have two different races or three races. You can't have this many people living on one continent with this many different religions, this many different cultures, without one trying to step on the other. I mean, that's just common sense.
But you could argue that the Klan is contributing to the problem, no?
No, the Klan ain't contributing to the problem. You can just sit back and let the blacks do their own job. I mean, let them keep killing each other in record numbers. We ain't got to, the Klan ain't got to go out and kill blacks no more. We just drop off some liquor in their town and some guns, and they do it themselves.
Well, you are contributing then, my man, Klansman. If you dropping the liquor and the guns off, you helping to contribute to us torturing and killing each other. I mean, that's a part of it, but I feel what he's saying though. We definitely hurting ourselves, man. But for sure, shit crazy that will be going on in the hoods and these urban areas, y'all.
If it was my option, every weekend I would go up to Chicago with a big truck full of whiskey and crack, marijuana, and a ton of guns and bullets, and tell them have at it and just drop it off right in the middle of town. And then go home and watch my Monday morning news and laugh the whole time.
Don't that sound familiar though, what he just said? Don't that sound familiar? Exactly what he just said. Didn't that really happen? Like, wasn't this like a real event that happened of multiple times? That kind of like the Snowfall story and everything. Like, we had these people, these officials come in and do this and deliberately drop guns off in the hood and everything. Like, shit crazy.
What's the most important thing you've learned in your life?
To never turn my back on God. He'll always be there for me.
White people say we have to get these niggas from out of tune with nature in order to conquer them. So instead of dealing with the sun, they created the Son of God. Even in the Bible, Psalms 83, I believe, it says, our Lord God is the sun and shield. Look that verse up. It might be Psalms 83. I ain't had to recite it in a minute, but look it up. It says, our Lord God is the sun and shield. Holy in Greek means helios, which means sun. Bible in Greek means biblios, which means book. The Holy Bible is actually about the sun. It's called the sun book. Jesus is the sun, and the 12 disciples are the 12 zodiacs. So what they did was they had to wane black people off the actual sun, okay? And then describe us to a fictitious deity which looked like them. So instead of us acknowledging and living in tune with nature, they forced us to a psyche to where we began to worship spiritually instead of being synchronized with nature spiritually. And the image that they gave us to worship was not only them, but every time you see Jesus Christ, he got the sun behind his head because he's blocking the sun. So black people's path to greatness is that sun. Okay? We have the same biochemical makeup as plants. The only difference in our blood versus the only difference in our chemical makeup is we have iron in our blood and plants have magnesium. If you switch the magnesium and iron with black people specifically and plants, we would then turn green and have chlorophyll, and plants will have the neuromelanin that we have. So Venom off Spider-Man, the symbiote suit is actually symbolic to the intellectual properties of neuromelanin that black people possess. Our skin, our body actually has intelligence and is able to actually think and react on its own. That's why we have the best agility, the best reflexes, etc. So you can actually, this is why it's also harder for us to get off drugs. So, because when we do drugs, our body actually intellectually internalizes the chemical response. And on top of us psychologically being addicted, we become biochemically addicted as well via the melanin, because our bodies are intelligent and think for itself. And if we educate our bodies to crave something, it will then crave that substance. So this is why it's actually biochemically harder for black people to get off drugs. Go look this up. It's facts and the statistics behind everything I'm saying. And so that being said, continuing on, they took Jesus, white Jesus, and they put white Jesus in between you, which is over here, and the sun, which is over here. So Jesus is the character version of sunblock. So you got.
Hey, this is interesting right here. Like, I never thought about this. Like, what was black people's religion before slavery? Like, before they introduced this, and because I always thought, man, I don't even want to talk. You know what? I ain't even finna get into that religious talk. I ain't even gonna do it. Because every time, nope, I ain't gonna do it. I'm just let the video play. Salute to Tommy, though. Salute to Tommy Houston in the chat, man. He said, yeah, they used to pull up the whole train cars and leave them in the hood all night. I remember that in Chicago in the 80s and 90s, yeah, and had guns, all that type of stuff on there, and like have it wide open. Motherfuckers go in there, steal all the guns and everything. Now you got all type of Glocks and assault rifles all in the hood and everything. And I remember they was doing that, leaving trains. And it wasn't just Chicago, it was different spots too. It was other different cities too. They was doing the same shit.
Sunscreen that go on your skin to block out the beautiful rays of the sun. They say harmful, but they're not harmful to us. When they say the rays of the sun is harmful to who? So with that being said, they got sunscreen to block out the alleged harmful rays of the sun, sunglasses to block out the alleged harmful rays of the sun, and then they got Jesus Christ to block out the beautiful spiritual rays of the sun. So when you say what was black people's religion before we were conquered, I don't even want to say conquered, because we wasn't.
It wasn't a religion, right? We were just spiritual, and like he said, it was spiritual and just energy. I don't think it was like
we not conquered. Before we was psychologically finessed by colonizers, there was no religion. We were master mathematicians. We were master astrologists. We were master scientists when it came to the cosmos and the universe and being one with nature. We allow a group of entities who are artificially created and outside of that construct to come in and reconstruct our reality predicated upon a fictitious paradigm which suits them being at the highest platform within this hierarchy.
Man, he talking some good shit. This young Pharaoh right here, y'all. This is before they got a hold of me. He said it. He's like, if they ever get a hold of me, I get to acting crazy and get to tripping and everything. They got me. And they got him now, because now he damn near like a dope fiend or something now. He be tripping now and everything. But back when he was speaking this message and everything, he was talking something real right here.
So if you want to really get back to your original self, look up in that motherfucking sky and get your head out that piece of shit book. See? Look up in that sky and get your head out that book. See? The stars tell you what time of day it is. The position of the planets tell you what time of day it is. The position of the celestial bodies tell you what's north, east, south, and west. See? The Bible don't tell you that. If you lost in the woods, the Bible don't tell you how to get home. The position of the sun tells you that. See? And so that being said, the heavens are the celestial bodies, not some spiritual place that you think you go when you die to be with some white man who can't even live under the sun. How Jesus is the son of God and he can't even live under the goddamn sun? How does that work? And so this video right here, family, was just a brief description and breakdown to let y'all know where we were psychologically before you allow colonizers to colonize your mind. And I know a lot of people like to say, well, if the Bible not true, how stuff in it always coming true? If I write a book right now and say, I'm going to shoot up a motherfucking, I'm going to shoot up a place tomorrow and not go shoot it up, does that mean the book was holy because I wrote some shit in it and made it come true? Of course, if I wrote the book and then I commit the action I wrote in the book later down the line, it's gonna come true. They got Illuminati cards from the motherfucking 70s, 60s, and I mean the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s, where one of the damn playing card decks got the damn Twin Towers being knocked down. So does that mean the fucking Illuminati cards is some divine ass cards from God? No, because the same Freemasonic entities that created the motherfucking monotheistic religions is the same motherfuckers that created the motherfucking Illuminati playing card. So when niggas get to talking about, oh, it said it in the Bible and it happened, nigga, if that's the case, nigga, God must be the creator of the motherfucking Simpsons. Because every time I turn the damn Simpsons on, the shit happened down the line. And so with that being said, when you are planning on doing bullshit and you control the media to disperse to the public in which is going to be the victims of your bullshit, then of course it looks like the media is divine or the books are divine when the bullshit actually take place because the sheeple are not able to see the forest behind the trees.
I know exactly what he's saying. Like, it's basically like how they be putting stuff in the media and they put this energy out into the universe. And so many people get to believe in it or thinking it and everything. And it'll happen. It'll come true because that's the way of the world. His energy and these vibrations are real. If all of us in this motherfucking chat right now was starting to think on the same thing, we be like, man, we all thought the same thing right now. We like, man, we gonna stay on this. And we doing this every stream. We thinking the same thing. Oh, let's get some money, y'all. Let's get some money. We'll manifest it. It'll happen because it's a collective. It's all of us people putting our thoughts towards one thing and it create that energy in the universe and it would happen. And that's what the fuck they did back in the day. They gave us these books and everything. They was like, man, we finna control these slaves with this book. We go give them this book. Obey your master. Didn't it say some shit like that in the Bible? Obey your master. Like, I don't know, man.
And so with that being said, you got niggas out here that'll tell you that'll tell you the Bible must be true because it say something and it happened. But then you sit here and try to explain to a nigga what they natal chart say about them or what they horoscope say about them, and now they don't believe in astrology. You see how disrespectful y'all are? The universe, the creator, really intricately put certain energy vortexes in conjunction with each other to describe your ethereal being, and you would disown and not acknowledge any of that because you trust what the colonizer told you versus what your own ancestors told you. So our ancestors told us to look to the stars, bitch. That's what they told us, and that's where I'm going to look. Your colonizers told you to look in that book, and that's where your bitch ass gonna look. And so with that being said, do not. And
I ain't trying to take away from the book, from the Bible, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Because I know this is a sensitive topic right here. I don't want to get crucified in the comments when this stream is over and everything. I know some of the stuff in the Bible probably, it is true. Some of the stuff is true, but I definitely believe like a little bit was sprinkled in it and everything. They put a little whammy on it to make it, you know what I'm saying, how they wanted to make it, you know what I'm saying? For real. Like, and then I always think about this, like, so if it's all the way, if everything was all real in the Bible, who was the first person to read? Like, who was the first person to write it? Who was the first person to read it or know or write it? Like, who was the first person to write it? Create it? Who created the Bible? Who was the first person? Like, I thank you, Felicia, for appreciate that super chat. Much love to you.
Disrespect the greatness and the intelligence of our ancestors, okay? Especially to take them off the throne and put a bitch ass Jesus on the seat who don't even belong in the conversation. And so with that being said, black civilization. I have to say this because no other race on the planet Earth have been here more than 6,000 years. We've been here so long. It ain't no there's not a proper number. And so that being said, black civilizations around the world, whether it was the Egyptians, because a lot of y'all don't know, Egypt was a global empire. It was not just in Egypt. It spread out all the way to Japan, and it was over here in the Americas as well. But getting off Egypt, the motherfucking Incas, the Mayans, the Aztecs, the Naga Kushites, the motherfucking Naga Kushites in Japan, and all of the rest of the dominating and fluctuating and prosperous black civilizations, the head of their spiritual systems were the study of the heavens, aka the celestial bodies. Do not get it confused, do not get it twisted, and do not get it fucked up. It is not until other races of people were introduced to this planet Earth via genetic engineering by the hands of extraterrestrials that they began to distort the original spiritual system and sciences of black people who were and are still to this day the original human beings via descendants of the mitochondrial Eve gene. And so that being said, I hope that this video has done nothing else but answer the question that you all continue to ask me. If Jesus ain't real, if Muhammad ain't real, if Moses ain't real, and monotheism, none of that shit is real, then what were we doing before this was introduced? I hope that I just reintroduced to you what it is that you were doing before these colonized introduced to you what it is that you should stay away from. And with that being said, family, I love y'all. Peace.
TikTok, this is for entertainment purposes only. So let me talk to y'all about why they hid our true past, because they know what really took place is 1,000 times worse than the history we get told. Them slave stories, the picking cotton stories, it goes so much deeper. And we about to get into it. Let me remind y'all of what was really going on. The Trail of Tears. They burnt down our cities. They dropped bombs on us. They built cities on our ancestors' remains. What they couldn't hide, they flooded and called it lakes. They put our people in meat farms, sexual slavery. They had us raise their children while they called us savages. The caskets they go back to dig up and collect as soon as the cemetery's empty. The furnitures they made out of us. The bullets they made out of us. The fireworks they made out of us. The sunscreen they made out of us.
What? Allegedly, man. Entertainment purposes only. Furniture, bullets, sunscreen made out of us? Well, I heard sunscreen is basically like melanin. They say if you look at it through like a X-ray, one of those lights, you know what I'm saying? I forgot. Y'all know what I'm talking about. If you look through it, one of those lights and everything, that it'd be black. But that's
the
crazy.
Melanin supplements they made out of us. The heirlooms of our ancient relics and our remains that they passed down to this day. The destiny swap that occurred between us and them fake-ass Native Americans who claim to be indigenous people till this day. The banks they tore down. The wealth they took from us. The world fairs. The human zoos that was taking place with our people. The fact that every museum is filled with our shits. The resources they stole. They contaminated the water through heavy metals, contamination, water treatment facilities, aquamation, and called the remains they put in our water and our food an ingredient called calcium phosphate. They cut down our ancient trees and called them mountains. That same tree dust that remained, they left it there and called it sand so nothing would grow. They mined our resources dry and called the deserted lands deserts and canyons. They had our people unknowingly participate in our destruction. They had them work in hospitals where the symptoms don't get treated and the patients get treated like customers. They put up signs in the woods, state to state, saying entry prohibited once you reach a certain distance. They boxed us in on the land they built on top of our ancestors' remains and made us pay bills on it.
Hey, that sound right there. That sound about right there. He might not be telling everything, facts on everything, but some of this shit.
They hid us from us and gave themselves the credit while demonizing us and our ancestors. So now that the building got lifted, what you gonna do? You gonna choose to remember? Or you gonna go back to that comfortable slumber you was in? And with that being said, our shade has been revealed. We remember, we rise.
I'm probably going to get in a lot of trouble for talking about this, but he said one day he walks through the hall down there in the basement and the door's open. And he looked in there, and here's a military man in a military uniform watching about 100 television sets that were on the walls. This is 1968.
Wow.
And the guy says to him, hey, come on in, you want to see this? Well, you don't have somebody who doesn't know anything, who's not connected with the military, come in and watch a military operation. That just doesn't make any sense.
No.
And so my dad looks at these TVs on the wall, and he's like, what is this? This is just people walking around doing their business, you know, everyday stuff. And he says, oh, we have cameras in every single television set that's sold. So when we need to keep an eye on someone, we can just dial into that set. 1968. Now, we know that's happening now,
right,
with our smart TVs, but back then?
Damn. Man. So basically, they're saying the CIA got the ability to tap in on everybody's system, Wi-Fi, TVs, and everything, and they can look into our shit while we watching, whatever we watching, look in on us and see what's going on. I believe it. I believe it, especially at the days and times we at. Shit, we in this new technology era with all this AI and everything, so it's definitely possible for sure. I'm just amazed by a lot of this stuff, man. This shit crazy, man. It's crazy, but gotta take it day by day, man. Stay on wave, y'all. Stay positive. Regardless of all these stories we be hearing and everything, stay positive. Stay cool. Stay a good person. You know what I'm saying? Don't let evil win. Even though evil is winning right now, I keep on saying that. Evil putting up more points on the board. They controlling everything. Is very evil out here. Just stay down, man. Stay positive, man. Keep that love around. Keep that good energy around. Keep vibrating in those high frequencies. In the end, we will win with all this crazy stuff. You know what I'm saying? Salute to my content management moderators, everybody in the chat. Appreciate all y'all. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. You know what I'm saying? Thank you for the super chats. Appreciate all y'all, man. It's crazy out here, y'all. But I'll see y'all soon. It's your boy Thou, FamOverTV. Peace and love, health and wealth to everybody. Peace.
Fam over.